Hit me. I've always loved dogs, you know.
Meet Jamey Jordan and his dog, Simba.
Go through. Back. Good man. That's a good man.
He's a canine trainer for the Georgia Department of Corrections.
That's how I do my ab workout right there.
But that wasn't always the case. Jordan started out with the Marines, then got into corrections by working for private companies, a county prison, and eventually a boot camp.
I was working at West Georgia Boot Camp at the time, and I was a third shift sergeant. And I actually just one night got on the website, GDC website, and I seen an opening for K9. And honestly, I never even knew GDC had a K9, you know, because all I knew was institution and the boot camp. So I seen the opening. It was in Noonan, Georgia. It was like 30 minutes from me. So I was like, man, that's something I'd like to try to do.
And just a short time later, in 2004, he got the job and was headed to school to learn everything he needed to know to train man's best friend.
I got my first catch with the tracking dog. I mean, that's just a feeling that only these other canine handlers can explain. That feeling when you catch, you know, a bad guy in the woods with your dog, or you find their contraband in the prison with that dog that you've been working. I mean, it's the best feeling in the world, most rewarding job I've ever had.
And 14 years later, Jordan says he still remembers making his very first catch with his dog Diesel. He says just as every dog has its day, so does every trainer.
And all of a sudden, you know, Coweta County calls and they need a tracking dog. So I harnessed the dog up, and if it wasn't for the dog being so good, you know, he just took off into the woods, and probably about 300 yards later, there the man was, you know, laying on the ground, covered up in leaves and everything. And I was hooked right then.
When Jordan is out working with the dogs, they're normally looking for contraband in prisons, working to capture a suspect, finding a missing person, or even checking bags through security at airports.
We have people that go out different locations out in the woods and lay tracks for us, practice tracks, and then we'll put different scenarios in it. We'll put cross tracks in it, you know, and train the dog and train the handler. We'll hide narcotics in different areas, like here in the hangar, in luggage. Just challenge the dog.
So we decided to put Simba to the test. Can he find the narcotics in the luggage? First, Jordan gives him the command.
Where's that gift?
Then after lots of sniffing, Simba sits, giving the signal he's found something.
Jeez. All right.
And of course, for a job well done, a toy
boy.
for Simba, and he's off. Now it's the puppy's turn, Roxy. Just remember, it's not the size of the dog in the fight, it's the size of the fight in the dog.
Hawkinsy. A good girl.
And that's not all she can do.
Roxy. That a good girl. Like, she'll go anywhere for this.
But Jordan says no matter the age of the dog, the training never stops. He says that applies to humans as well. So he also has other canine trainers come and learn his tricks of the trade.
Hit me. Ugh, just good dog.
But Jordan says every canine trainer knows the most important lesson for a dog.
90% of the dog training is knowing when not to train. If the dog's having a bad day, or you just got to recognize that and maybe just bond with the dog. Just play with him. Don't make him work.
But Jordan says to him and his dogs, they never work a day in their life because they chose a job that they love.
Good boy. Be a dog.
Beyond the Call, Cassandra Ortiz for the Georgia Department of Corrections.